bit of joined up thinking here. If we didn't have as many new housing developments, we wouldn't have as much overuse on the roads. And if we didn't have as much overuse on the road, we wouldn't have as many potholes. And if we didn't have as many potholes, Keir Starmer would have one less thing to tell us he's fixing. I don't suppose he's done that joined up thinking. I don't suppose for a second he's thought, yeah, do you know what? If I don't build all those new houses, but I perhaps redevelop the houses that we've got with the existing infrastructure that actually works, then we won't have so many cars on the roads in places of high density, which will put less pressure on the roads. He's not very good at putting less pressure on things, is he? He's no good at that. He likes to pressurise it more, you know, NHS, schools. But if he did that, I think we might not have as many potholes, because potholes are not just sort of like a funny little thing that we talk about in local elections and go, we're going to fix the potholes. They're actually, for many people, a serious bone of contention, not only from a financial perspective, but if you've driven over any of the craters, they're not potholes here, they're craters. I mean, that's your hip and your back gone within 3 seconds. You either have to sort of approach it like it's a moon landing and glide into it and glide out of it, which is if you can see it, because of course you can't always see them. And it's like the entire car does that. What are they? They're simulators. It does all of that. And you can hear your suspension going every time you go over it. And you can count up, you know, well, that was a holiday for the left tyre. And that was that was the weekly shop for the right tyre. And that was the house insurance for the back tyre. And before you know it, you know, you're sort of hundreds of pounds in for some new tyres that will probably have exactly the same thing happen to them in a week's time. And somebody said the other day, well, you know, you can claim on the council for that. If you get a puncture or what have you, you can claim on that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? We can't even turn the Christmas lights on our council tree. In fact, there was one year we weren't going to have a tree. And it's like, you think that they're going to pay for my tyres? They're too busy cocking up the entire town with their temporary traffic lights everywhere, which creates gridlock at all times of day. It's not just mornings or afternoons, it's all times of day, with temporary traffic lights so that you can queue for 20 minutes to go past a traffic cone because the work might be starting next week, or it possibly started last week, but they're not doing it at the minute because they're off on another job 3 miles down the road. But they haven't moved the traffic lights and they're still going to leave the cone there, and it's just going to cause mass confusion and chaos in the town, loads of pollution, going to kill the roads that are already dead, but someone didn't speak to somebody else in the planning department, so you're all screwed. It's a proper moan of mine. I can't bear it, and I just don't think it can be that difficult. I really don't. You know, some things and you think, yeah, but that's an infrastructure you wouldn't touch, and I can understand that that might be a bit tricky. This is just roads. It's just not that simple. You look at a map and you have little lights on your map. It could be interactive. It could be an app. And you go, right, well, we've got traffic works there outside Morrison's, and we've got traffic works there outside the school. And we've got traffic works there going over the bridge. Now, they're all three massive in points and out points into the town. So if we have all three going at the same time, that's a big oof. And we're going to basically get gridlock here and lots of angry people and people late for school. And Morrison's is going to lose money because no one's going to go into Morrison's, are they? If they've got to wait 20 minutes to get out of Morrison's. I mean, I love Morrison's, but not that much. So I know, why don't we do that one for the next 2 months, and then we'll do that one for the next 2 months. Then we'll tell everyone we're doing that one for 2 months, but actually it'll last for 6 months. But, you know, that's shit happens. But maybe that would be a way to look at it. I don't know. I'm not trying to teach anyone how to suck eggs, but why is that a phrase, sucking eggs? Who sucks eggs? It's the weirdest phrase there is, unless I've got it wrong. But either way, you get the gist. I'm just saying, it can't be that difficult, yet we seem to make a national art in cocking up town infrastructure and creating potholes. I mean, if that was a category in the Eurovision Song Contest, we'd win it hands down.